This episode of the Offroad Podcast is sponsored by Warren, Medical Gear Outfitters, and Colby Valve.
Off-Road Podcast, episode 344, Snow Camp Review.
Tonight, Aaron is out of line, Jeremy loses some air, and Ben gets pranked.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast, the podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. I'm your host, Ben, and someone's trying to call me. And I'm here with my co-hosts, Aaron and Jeremy, and welcome to the show.
The weekend review is brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to have a casualty on the trail? Check out medicalgearoutfitters.com to get straightened out. Medical Gear Outfitters has everything you need, whether you're going out for the day or traveling on a year-long expedition. Head over there to get off-road specific kits that meet all of your needs. And while you're there, make sure you use Off-Road Podcast for 10% off.
And Jeremy's a dirty liar because I took it to the max. And speaking of taking it to the max, I actually got a chance to use my Medical Gear Outfitters Overlander first aid kit this weekend. And it was for my co-host here, that guy right there.
That's me, my hands up.
Yep. Jeremy or Aaron had some heartburn, and I was like, you know what? I might have an antacid. So lo and behold, and there we go. And I had one because that's kind of how we built the kit. Was you go out in the woods, you need the stuff and the right stuff. Not a billion band-aids. So
Although you used a Band-Aid provided by Rick.
yes, it was a bacon Band-Aid.
So it was not out of the Medical Gear Outfitters kit, but it was a bacon Band-Aid. So we got some comments here. Someone says, "Burr, snow sounds cold. Not that I'm ever really going to see snow, but how did them pats work, Jeremy?" I'm wondering if you mean parts or
Patagonias. No, they work great.
the Gucci's.
And
Okay.
yeah, and Ben's running them too, and as you'll hear in the main topic, he definitely did a good job.
Yes,
having new tires actually did him a solid.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very happy with them. They're definitely better than my Toyos were in ice, and in deep snow they're also really fantastic. So I'm happy with them. I recommend them.
Well, Jeremy, what have you been up to this week besides snow camping?
I got a package, so something came in from Warren.
Oh, so this word that says rescon is actually Tim. So I thought that was Tim's Jeep in the picture, but he changed his name on YouTube. So
you mean Timberly, right?
Yeah, Timberly. Yep.
So
what'd you get there, Jeremy?
I got some backup hubs.
Oh, I thought that was a coaster. I thought it was a Warren coaster set.
Nope. I got some backup hubs.
So hang on a second. You have to turn that?
Yes. You turn that.
With your hand?
Yes.
Does that mount to your dash? Does it mount to your dash to put it into four-wheel drive? How does that work?
Right?
Oh, we should talk to Andy about Bluetooth hubs. You just got your Bluetooth hubs in so you can mount them to your dash. Oh, we'll do that next week when we have him on. He'll love that.
I just put these in my rig now, right? That's it? That's all I do?
We'll ask that next week when we have him on.
Yeah. No, I ordered a backup set of hubs just, in case I break a hub or something. I have some spares. So those came in and I'm pretty happy. I kind of want to, now the engineer in me, I haven't pulled apart my hubs yet. But now I don't have to go see how they work because I can just look at these ones.
There you go.
Look at them. Just look at them.
Just look at them. I pull those apart. So, Ben, let's throw it to you. What have you been up to?
Well, guess what? I got a package too.
You got a package?
I got a package. So I haven't even told you guys this yet, but I've been wanting to do rock lights.
A marlin crawler?
No marlin crawler. I wanted to do rock lights, but I want a single color, and I decided, well, I got this first. It's a little button, Toyota button, but I got some KC.
Oh yeah.
Cyclones. They're the V1s. The KC had them on clearance, and it was even cheaper than my cost on the V2s. So I was like, well, I'll buy 4 of them, see how I like them, and I'm actually going to mount them magnetically. I found a guy that did it with some 20-pound
neodymium.
Neodymium. Yeah, that fancy magnet. They're 20-pound magnets, and he mounts them under his rig, and it kind of gives you a little bit more space to play with them.
Now 20-pound means that they weigh 20 pounds?
No, it's got 20 pounds of pulling force. Pulling force. And I'm not going to use them so much as rock lights, is more of a camp light, if anything. And these are pink, which is hilarious. So I know you guys will love that they're pink.
They're also fantastic when you have to work on your rig.
Yeah.
And it's nighttime.
Well, and the cool thing is I'm hoping that I can give myself enough extra length on the wire to where I can move them with the magnet and like stick it on the side of my rig if I ever have to like see out the side a little better. We'll see if that works. Probably not, because that wire will probably get caught by something. And
I'd say if you had too much of a length that you could actually move it around, you would just snag that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll be like I have a little bit of extra length on a magnet too, held up somewhere. All the magnets. Neodymium. Hey, there you go. Thanks, Aaron.
No, he said it wrong.
Yeah, neodymium.
Diddlium.
Yeah. I'm confused here by Tim's comment. He's saying that Rescue Con is his Instagram handle. He says my Jeep is Rescue Green Rubicon. Rescue Con. Oh, maybe it's Rescue Rubicon. Con. I don't know why he tells me it's Rescue Green. Oh, because there's no green in the Q-Con.
Right. But the Rescue is Green. Rescue.
Rescue Green, which is my favorite green that the Jeeps have. Very similar to the Xteric green.
Clearly, it's a Jeep thing that I don't get.
So yeah, that's been about it, except for this weekend. So Aaron, what about you?
I was supposed to get a package, but didn't. I did not get a package. But on my drive home, I finally got to calculate the fuel economy on my truck, because I've been curious since I've done the Titan swap. Haven't really gotten to drive it any long distances to know. And on the way up, my trip computer was saying I was getting 16.5 to 17.5 miles a gallon. And I was thinking, man, that's amazing. This torque on the V8 is great. So on the drive home, I filled up once I hit the freeway, and then I filled up once I left the freeway, which was 85 miles or so later. And it looks like Jeremy's pouring some fuel here while we're talking. But I fueled up, calculated my mileage, and any guesses what I'm getting?
12 miles per gallon.
How about you, Jeremy? Any guesses?
You're muted.
You're muted.
I'll go 14.
14? You're closer. I got 13.45, so 13.5 miles a gallon. So the ECU must not be what calculates the fuel economy. There must be some other body control module that calculates it, and it's not realizing that there's 2 more injectors. So if you add 25% or take 25% away from what it was, it comes out pretty close to what I'm getting. So yeah, 13 and a half miles per gallon when I'm cruising at 75 miles an hour on the freeway. So yeah.
It could be a little better if you were going 60, right?
Well, what's interesting is that I noticed that when I was doing 60, I was getting in the low 16s for fuel economy, according to the trip computer. And then once I got into Washington and was doing 70 to 75, I was getting even better fuel economy. That's when it jumped up. As soon as we jumped on I-5 headed south, it said 17.8 miles to the gallon as I was headed south on I-5. So it's really interesting. The gearing and the torque of the engine thinks that 70 miles an hour is a sweet spot. So
I can't complain about that for you.
Yeah,
Speedy.
for sure.
Well, except for he also likes to really accelerate fast, which is going to eat through his mileage.
Oh, yeah.
Says the guy who ripped out of the Huff and Puff today. I heard you leave.
I didn't
Everybody
get
heard
stuck
you
behind
leave.
all the log trucks.
Yeah, we got stuck behind some slow pokes too.
Yeah, I saw them, and I'm like, I got enough time if I just gun it.
Yep.
So
It sounded good, Jeremy.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. Tim says that 13 and a half ain't bad. So
no, I don't think that's
thanks,
bad
Tim.
at all.
And I do love the color of your Jeep. If I was ever to paint my truck, it would be that color, but the Nissan version of that same color.
Hey guys, we're looking to reach more listeners. We're going to start reading Apple iTunes reviews on air. If you hear yours, send us a message with your address, and we'll send you an Off-Road Podcast sticker. You can find all of our social media by just searching our name. Now, go hit that subscribe button.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month. Patriot Patch. I gave Rick a patch while we were hanging out today.
Yeah.
Any guesses? Yeah? Any guesses what I gave him?
It's not a leak.
Nope, but it had a Jeep on it.
I
don't know.
It was back when they did. Yeah, it was back when they did their World War II series. They had a Willys patch. So
Willis.
Willis. What you talking about, Willis? So I gave him a patch. Facebook user says no one gave me a patch. So if we knew who you were, maybe we
You're
give
right.
him a
It's
patch.
probably not Coy.
Don't know who it is.
No idea.
Yeah, Facebook user does not know how to have a name. Yeah, everybody else understood the instructions. Instructions were unclear for Facebook user.
Now he's gonna have stuck in something as his username.
Yeah. Well, we have one news story for this week, and it is that Ford.
Hold on. The news is going to be brought to you by Colby Valve.
Have tire troubles ever left you deflated? Colby Valve has got you covered. Ever have a valve stem leak? Colby Valve makes reusable and easily replaceable valve stems that don't require you to remove your tire from the wheel. They work with your off-road rig, ATV, side-by-side, commuter vehicle, or even your tractor. Never be left stranded again because of a busted valve stem. They also have a tire repair kit for those punctures that keep you away from doing your favorite thing, wheeling. Make sure to check out colbyvalve.com or ask for them at your local off-road products store.
I should mention real quick that before I did my Titan swap and I had my V6, I was getting 12 and a half miles a gallon with how I drove my truck. And now I'm getting 13 and a half miles a gallon. So technically my fuel economy did improve.
Now you're just talking about at 70 miles an hour.
That's true. Cool. I haven't calculated how I drive it back and forth to work or around like that. So
I haven't calculated that for mine. So I need to go ahead and do that sometime.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, hey, there's Koi. Koi's in the YouTube's chatting it up.
Oh,
I wonder if
yeah.
I wonder if he knows who the Facebook user was.
Yeah, I wonder if he does know.
Ford patented some in-bed magnets. Kind of interesting. This isn't like a news release or anything. It was that somebody found a patent filed online. And by the way, our story this week is brought to you by Jalopnik. So give them credit where credit's due. So apparently these magnets mount under the bed. There's 2 of them. One is stationary and one moves. And you can turn them off and on at will.
Oh, like it's a electromagnet?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Screamin' Skull Saloon says, "Good evening, everyone."
So, does it talk about how much holding capacity it has?
No, it's all kind of like just looking at what the patent was filed for, and that's about it. So there isn't a whole lot to go off of. Lots of speculation, things like that. But
it looks like they have a small engine, like maybe like a go-kart mode. I don't know.
Yeah, so in theory, you could have some metal parts, some brake rotors, or an engine back there. Although the engine usually are like have cast aluminum blocks and stuff like that. So,
but that is an engine right there, right?
Yeah.
It looks like one to me. It looks like a lawnmower engine. So, yeah, but maybe it's strong enough to pull through the aluminum and hang on to the crankshaft on the inside or something. I don't know. I don't know how strong it is. I'm curious how it'll work out.
I am curious about that. I think it's a good idea. I'd like to see how people put it to use, but
absolutely. What metal things do you carry in a truck bed?
An axe.
I would just close my tailgate for that.
Yeah, I know. A fuel,
although
a jerry can, a steel jerry can.
There you go. Maybe it could keep people from stealing stuff if you just have your magnet on. You don't have to tie anything down, and they can't lift it out of your bed because it's sucked down so hard.
Yeah, I mean that's what's really going to matter, or really going to make this good or not, is how strong is the electromagnet. Now, the fact that they did an electromagnet obviously can be a lot stronger than just like a rare earth magnet, but I can't wait. I hope we start seeing this and actually kind of get some testing for it.
Yep.
So some thought with this is my Ford died because I left my electromagnet on.
Right? Yeah. Although so maybe they aren't electromagnets because it talked about them moving. So maybe when you bring one close to the other, it does the hanging on kind of thing. I don't know. So maybe once it moves into place, it doesn't take any more power. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. And it does mention in the bottom of the article that a lot of companies file for patents just to claim the rights to an idea. They may or may not even use them. So it might not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you own that can get messed up by magnets also? So like, don't put your VCR tapes back there. It'll erase them.
Don't put your 1990s computer back there.
Yeah. Your I thought I heard that like credit cards used to be able to get erased by a speaker magnet or something too. So
but if you've stolen that Ford, you can go use that magnet to like detach the close security tags. So
Eric Kravik says don't put grandma back there with her pacemaker. So yeah,
it's an interesting one. It'll be, if they ever bring it out, it'll be cool to see what it does and how it works.
So for the one that moves, I'm curious to know how it moves.
Someone suggested like some sort of pulley with belts. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Or does that just mean it moves around randomly? and you have to find it every time.
You gotta find where it's stuck down. Yeah, you put your stuff in the bed and it ends up on the other side of the bed.
Yeah, it just rolls around or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Curious.
yeah.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
I like Coy's comment. It says, "Don't get into your truck with your steel toe boots."
Oh, that would be a good way to mess with the new guy.
To haze the new guy, yeah. Put his
Yeah.
boots, because I'm sure you guys have
Or-
heard of, like people's boots and stuff or together.
Or you just get him to go back there and stick it. If it was strong enough to actually stick his foot with just a steel toe boot, that would be pretty awesome. You could just turn it on and stick him to the back of your truck and be like, "Come on, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I need you to grab that that tool out of the back of my truck, and they climb back there and you turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun.
Screaming Skulls says that he went hiking and off-roading last summer at Magnetic Rock in Minnesota. He says that it makes compasses spin and magnets stick to rock. Super cool.
So if you turn on that electromagnet, will it then just flip your rig?
It's like, yeah. Turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see what people do with it. But yeah, let's talk about our snow trip, guys.
Yeah. It's really fresh considering we just got back. Oh, well, Jeremy's drink is awfully festive. I guess now's a good any time to talk about that, I guess, huh? So
yes.
I'm drinking an AMF here, and the reason I'm drinking an AMF is because we had some leftovers. We went ahead and mixed up some AMF in Oroto packs, and had that for drinking all weekend.
Because it's Olaf.
Yeah, we just thought it'd be kind of funny, have a drink for the trip and put it in Oroto packs just because.
Yeah, Jeremy likes to make themed drinks every camping trip. So
Blue Hawaiian Punch, I like that. Yeah,
it looks a lot like it.
It does. Yeah, it does look like Blue Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah, and you feel like you drank a lot of Hawaiian Punch after you're done.
Yeah,
it feels like you got Hawaiian punched.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, quick overview of the trip. We're gonna do. Normally, we go chronological how we do things, but we're gonna try a different thing. We're just gonna hit some bullet points of what we did over the trip. But overview of the trip, we all met up at 9:00 in Randall, and by all, it was Jeremy, Aaron. That's me, by the way. Ben, Coy. I think I'm missing some people.
William,
Rick.
Dave, Rick,
Aaron, Kravick.
Yeah. And
so
so
two Aaron trip. Was that? Yeah, that's everybody that met up in Randall, right?
Yeah. So rigs for that, we had 3 Wranglers from 3 different generations. So we had Dave in his LJ. I was in my JK, and Rick was in his in his JL. We had 1 first gen Tundra.
Yep.
It for Kravick. Let's see. We had a Sequoia. We had a Forerunner.
First gen Sequoia.
And a Forerunner. And then we also had I think that was about it, right?
Oh, come on.
No, we had a Frontier.
Yes.
We had
only Nissan in the group.
The only
Nissan and the F. Yeah. Coy's
FJ. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had
Tim wants to know if anyone cuddled for warmth.
Aaron
several
was pretty close.
Several of us needed it on some of the nights, but no cuddling took place on the trip.
Nobody
yeah.
wants to cuddle with me.
It was we had a good smattering of vehicles and tire
Yeah.
sizes from it was 33s to 40s, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was on 31s.
Nope.
No.
So here's a picture of us heading out there on the first day.
It was very green that first day. It was not
Yeah,
green on our way home.
No, it
No.
wasn't. Yeah, so that was us heading up there, and we camped for 3 nights
Mhm.
and came back. We came back this morning.
Yep.
And
Wow,
that
you
was
say
it.
this morning. I think I got home at like 3:00.
Well, that's true. I got home at 4:30, but I mean, we left this morning. We broke camp.
Yes.
We started
Yes.
packing up at 7:00 this morning. So Aaron
Yep.
says, "Did they even make 31s anymore?" Of
They
course
do.
they do. Subarus need something. So that's the overview. We just went camping, but let's hit some high points. So let's talk about recovery gear on this trip.
Yeah. So we definitely
know.
used a lot of Bubba roping.
I didn't need any recovery gear at all.
Aaron needed Bubba ropes a lot.
Dave needed about this much right here.
Yeah.
That was everything minus my tree strap.
Yeah.
I missed that one. But
yeah, so
going back to Aaron, because we can't let him off the hook.
No, we can't.
We are going to talk about it later.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah. So I got drug up the mountain for probably a third or more on different people's Bubba ropes.
Yes.
I had to winch.
Fine. So
one time.
What was that Dave's thing?
Tim. I love it. Tim says to be fair, Aaron's tires are balder than koi, so
wow.
And old.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Block user.
Yep. Blocked.
Wow.
Good night. Yeah.
How do I delete a comment? If I block it, does it just you can't delete comments?
No. So
wow.
Yep. So yeah, we'll just continue on with evening acknowledging that.
Kravik says that ropes and pulley blocks as well. So I think he pulled out his snatch block and an extension line to help get Dave. So Dave was stuck in a sunny part of the snow where the sun had melted it enough that it was just kind of rotten.
It was just slush. I was able to power through it, and then you got hung up down to your frame.
Mm-hmm. I turtled.
You turtled, and then Dave turtled, and then we used Dave to pull you back, I think.
Yeah.
But his winch
once I got pulled back, then we pulled him forward towards me. Oh, no. Actually, we threw on because his winch was acting up, we threw on the you could see him in that picture. What are the things on his tires?
So we had the track grabbers that we threw on.
Yeah, the track grabbers.
And they helped a little bit, but not enough to get him out. So he had to use his winch plus 2 extensions or 3 extensions and a snatch block.
Yeah.
To get out. So it was my 30-foot strap, my I don't know how long my winch line extension is, and then
about
I think yours is an 80. No, I think was it your worn one?
Yeah, my worn one. I think it's
aren't those 80 feet?
I think so.
Well, yeah. Coy in the comments says that he got Bubba roped when him and Rick went out snow wheeling on one of the days. So yeah, because the snow was pretty rotten in the sunny spots going up, there was definitely some recovery gear that was needed for that. Didn't break out the Max tracks. I don't think they would have really helped for anything.
I didn't even bring them.
Yeah, we used a bunch of soft shackles.
All the soft shackles.
Yeah. I think that was about it for recovery gear.
I didn't use any of my own recovery gear.
Yeah, I didn't either. Mine, unfortunately, how I
Whose
packed
cover
my
rope
truck.
were you
all my
using?
stuff was
Mine,
Ben's.
mine,
Yeah.
and Rick's.
And Koi's. I was pulled around by a lot of people this weekend.
Yeah, the kinetic ropes were really the big winners for the trip. Like they did a lot of the work.
I mean, honestly, in the snow, unless you're really off camber and worried about as soon as you start moving, you slide off the side of a hill, the Bubba rope's really the way to go.
Yeah, the winch only was beneficial. Like the reason we had to use the winch is that snow was such garbage that we couldn't get back to.
Well, that the
You
Dave,
turtle
that was the
same
problem.
time.
Yeah, that was the problem. Is I was in front of Dave, and he needed to move forward, so we just used him to winch forward off of the back of me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there still is a time and a place for winches, obviously, but
Yeah, they didn't get used much.
Aaron should have Eric.
Yeah, Eric in the comments says, should Aaron have just written "in tow" on his rear window? And it is sadly 100% true. I was like a somewhat powered trailer behind a lot of these things.
and Ruth wants to know if anybody got stuck. Yes, people do get stuck.
No, nobody got stuck.
Just Aaron.
Yeah, it was a good trip. So let's talk about how camp was set up. So, actually, no, let's drop a bombshell. Where did we camp?
We finally made it to your secret spot.
Yeah, finally.
We've been trying for 4 years now to do it in the spring. We've made it in the fall, but never in the spring.
No, I gotta say, and this is my favorite part right here. Is I'm gonna share this picture right here. Is while Jeremy was helping with Aaron, I was told to go ahead, get ahead, and just start going, and I plowed the way all the way there.
He did.
I had so much time that I stopped and sat on my roof and ate lunch while waiting for these guys. Then got bored.
You got lunch?
Yeah, I ate lunch. And I got bored and I started walking backwards towards Jeremy to see.
Yeah, your radio needs a better antenna so that there can be
seriously.
I just need a better radio.
He needs a mobile.
Yeah.
And Aaron, you need to install that mobile.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Eric in the comments says, how was the waterfall? It was there. We didn't stop on the way up or back at the waterfall, and we did not find your wedding ring either. So Eric's been to my secret spot.
His radio needs a better everything. Yes, it does. No, I mean, Ben's radio is so bad that it was hard to hear him when he was just one rig away from you.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get the blister pack at Walmart.
Well, at least it didn't sound like a gypsy with pans flying around.
That was weird.
Funny.
Yeah, another radio trouble we had.
Yeah,
Rick's handheld radio that Dave was using. Every time he would talk on it, it would sound like pans were clinking together. And was it Rick that said it sounded like it was a gypsy wagon?
Yeah.
And that was the perfect description.
Coy says Ben selfishly played while the rest of us worked together to get everyone up the mountain.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
that sums it up perfectly fine. I had stopped to air down some more and help, and I got yelled at to keep going by Jeremy.
Well, not yelled at, but it was
and it wasn't just keep going until forever. It was don't stop in the middle of the road when we're trying to tow Aaron up the mountain.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Nobody ever said just go to camp.
Well, I started walking back after I sat there for a half hour.
Here's some photos real quick of us going up. So this is when I think we had just gotten to snow because Ben's not in the lead at this point. Driving over some trees. Speaking of trees, we only had to trim a couple trees,
2 trees,
and it was because
Aaron
and William were so tall that they couldn't fit underneath them.
Oh, well, there were the 2 that we cut right at the beginning. that were just kind of in the way, that were all the way down. Did you
That's
guys have
right.
to trim some
That's right.
for height?
I
I don't
thought
remember
that
trimming any for height. I just remember maybe pushing them out of the way.
I'm not sure. But anyways, you guys did 46 trees a month ago, which cleared our way this time for only 2 trees, which
now
really made travel great.
Somebody else also went out there and cut some of our trees for us too.
Sure.
Because we didn't clear enough to get all the way up. But
yeah. Here's another shot headed up. At some point, I drove over a tree and collected a branch through my bumper. So that was kind of funny.
It seems like something Ben would do.
I know. Well, my skid plates deflected it.
Oh,
so
good. Yeah.
Saved.
So they did their job?
Yep, they did their job.
Is that what skid plates are for?
Well, I mean, it's one of the things.
Speaking of skid plates, we were just pulling into camp.
Oh, God.
Ben lost the skid plate off the side of his door.
Yep.
For that never should have happened, but
no, it should not. I should close the door.
Ben had his door open and he tried to back up and drug it on the snow. And
no, it wasn't even the snow. It was a branch.
Oh, a branch ripped it off.
I'm pretty sure it was just the snow.
No, it was just a frickin' branch. I was being lazy and backing up to Aaron to help rescue him for the umpteenth time.
Yep. I was my turn. As we were driving into camp, I started to go into the ditch. So Ben was gonna help me out, and he helped himself out. So.
Hey, how many times did I get stuck on the way to camp?
Weight reduction.
I don't know because nobody knew where you were.
Yeah, for all we know, he had to winch like 50 times.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
No, I didn't get stuck at all. Brand new tires and bead blocks and 5 PSI.
You've already mentioned that, Ben.
I just zero.
Yeah. So talking about camp, we had kind of a variety of setups. I think we had 2 gazelles. We had one person sleeping in their rig. We had two. No, just the one. I think.
2. Aaron Kravick and
yeah. I forgot about
Kravick.
Sorry.
You say Kravick slept in his rig, but he really has a canopy that he slept in.
Yeah. One guy in the canopy. So one guy was in the cab, the cabin of the vehicle that was in the Sequoia. One guy in the bed with a canopy and a sleeping platform. And then 2 guys kind of just with normal ground tents. So like the REI half dome style tents.
Yeah. Dome tents. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Aaron showed up with some fancy tent.
I got
what
swanky.
Did you show up with, Aaron?
I borrowed a Shift Pod Mini from one of my Yamhill homeboys. So it was pretty swanky, I gotta say. Also, it didn't breathe. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, then you looked like you just landed on the moon or something.
I know. And then Coy had a CVT.
Oh, yeah.
Fast pitch tent thing.
The
Black Butte.
Yeah, Black Butte.
That was the first time that I saw that tent style before.
Thank you, Rick, for taking some of these photos that we're sharing, by the way. Photo credit to Rick.
Yes.
I love my Gazelle tent. I've got the orange one you see in this picture here. It's the T4. And Jeremy, you have the T3, right?
Yep.
Which is slightly smaller and just as good. I love the quality of the material.
So basically at camp, if you are listening and can't see the picture, everybody just kind of spread out. This area is like a group site. It's not really, it's just dispersed camping, but it's like a group site. There's only room for one group, so no one else could come and camp next to us or anything. Everybody just kind of shoved into the trees, set up a tent, and we just had a central mess area. And then we also put up a wall tent. Coy brought a hunting wall tent, and then we had a central campfire as well, and then a shooting range in the back corner.
Yes, right next to Rick's tent.
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect place for it.
Yep. Jeremy, why don't you walk us through the meals we had?
Yeah, absolutely. So
since you were the chef.
Yes, chef.
So that's obviously one of the things that I like to do when we go camping is plan out some good food. So on Friday, we had some wood-fired pizza. So I brought my pizza oven. It's just an Uni Fira wood pellet pizza oven. So we had some pizza. We had, and this was the first time I did any sort of a white sauce pizza. So the main one we did was white sauce with mozzarella, bacon, chicken, and red onion, and it was fantastic. And then we also made just some pepperoni and some white sauce pepperoni and chicken and bacon, which was a little bit weird, but okay. But just lots of pizza. I mean, there's nothing better than just eating fresh pizza around a campfire in the snow.
But and just so people understand, the cool thing with this little pizza oven is it's not like you don't have to cut up wood. You actually use wood pellets, so it's still convenient enough to use while camping.
Yeah, and it packs down pretty small. I mean, it's not tiny by any means, but you know, it works pretty well. Especially if you're able to spread out the load on kitchen duties. So, you know, different people bring different things for the kitchen. So we actually kind of had, so I brought my pizza oven. Ben brought his blacktop and Blackstone, whatever.
Blackstone flat top. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rick brought his scuttle. So that was kind of what we were using to cook on. So for dessert that day, Ben brought a Costco cheesecake, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was amazing for breakfast the next day.
I don't know. I was scared to
breakfast.
I was scared to eat the cheesecake because you guys left it in the tent, in the large wall tent, while you guys had it at like 80 degrees in the tent for a few hours.
Yeah.
Still not
So
enough.
I was a little bit afraid of food poisoning.
You missed out on having a second bout of cheesecake is what you missed out on.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. And so Saturday, for breakfast, we had some biscuits and gravy. We tried to do some biscuits in the pizza oven, and it did not work out well.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, this is my first time trying to cook anything other than pizza in the pizza oven. So we ended up doing some just some pan biscuits. So we split them in, I think, a quarter.
Yeah.
You know, we split them in half, pan fried both sides, split them again. So then it's a quarter biscuit, pan fried it again. And we ended up making the picture on the screen here is the overland version, you know, the chefy version. It's just a little thin biscuit with some sausage gravy and then a small slice of bacon.
Yeah.
Propped up there. It would have been nice to have something green, maybe some chives or something on top of it, just to really give it some color.
Yeah.
Yes, chef.
Yeah. So that still worked out. I mean, we persevered. So Saturday dinner, we had some pork burritos. So that was just some refried beans, some homemade Mexican rice, some homemade pulled pork, carnitas, and then some cheese and some really good smoky garlic sauce, which I did not make the smoky garlic sauce. That's actually from one of the places near me. So if you're in the Bremerton area, make sure you go to Elbow Cone and get the smoky garlic sauce, because that smoky garlic sauce is amazing. I've tried to make it a couple times and I just can't get it right. So I had to go buy it, but it's delicious. And then for dessert, we had some root beer floats with homemade ice cream. So
yeah,
Coy brought his ice cream maker, and we used Will's generator to go ahead and run the ice cream maker, and it was pretty bomb having some homemade ice cream that wasn't Cool Whip.
Yeah,
yeah,
much better than a couple years ago when we tried to make it there. That's a
Aaron
really good
really
picture
loved
of
it.
me. A good picture of me licking the ice cream beater.
Yes, indeed.
Holding in my hand, you can see my cup patiently waiting to fill it with ice cream and root beer.
It also kind of, your shirt makes it look like, if you're not really looking at your shirt, it looks like you've just got ice cream dripping down it.
Yeah. No, that's an American flag with guns.
Yeah.
Guns.
No, I think it's just ice cream.
Yep.
Yep. So Sunday breakfast. So now we're into Sunday morning. So we had some just sausage, eggs, hash browns, and bacon. Some people chose to make it into a burrito, but that was not sanctioned. That was people going, you know, they weren't
Rogue.
they weren't following the plan, but
Went rogue.
yeah, exactly. Just a basic breakfast. We kind of made the sausage. We put sausage in the scrambled eggs. For Sunday dinner, we had some steaks, pilaf, and asparagus. So shout out to Koi for bringing all those nice steaks and that nice dry rub.
Those steaks were cooked absolutely perfect. Like I cut them.
Yeah.
And good job.
Thank you.
You're the only one with a cutting board, by the way, Ben. You used the cutting board as a plate, which was really smart.
It was really smart. Yeah.
I had to hold my steak and eat it like a corn dog, a really flat corn dog.
The funny thing is you didn't even need it. The cutting board.
No, you didn't. I ended up cutting mine into, like, I think I probably cut it into quarters and then just ate it off of my fork. So kind of like a hybrid from Aaron's method.
Yeah. I got primitive. I couldn't wait to cut it or something. I needed to eat that steak because it smells so good. Yeah, I know.
You know, steak's
so
always a little hard when you're camping, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Next time maybe I'll just have to make some sort of pan sauce and pre-slice the steak, everybody's steak. So you just plate it with, you slice the steak and then plate it where it like all lays down on top of each other, and then you pour a little pan sauce over top. We'll have to do it that way next time.
You and Koi did fine dialing the steaks in. You could just do that again. It's fine.
Okay.
No.
Are you sure? Okay, fine. Yeah. And then for dessert that night, we had some apple pie pizza with homemade ice cream. So again, Koi made some homemade ice cream for us, which was again amazing. I didn't lick the beater the second night. And we did a little bit more experimenting with the pizza oven. So took some pizza dough, par baked it. So that's baking it without any toppings on it. And then threw just some canned apple pie filling on top, and then cooked it for quite a bit longer with some some Dutch apple pie topping, and then sliced that up and had some of that with homemade ice cream.
That was good. Next time you bring out the pizza oven, you're gonna have to do that again.
Eric, did he wash the beater before the second match? Yes, he did. He boiled some water in there and washed it real good.
We had 2 dogs at camp that did dishes for us.
No wonder why Kravik never wants to eat with us.
Yep.
So now we're into Monday. So on Monday,
that's the day.
For breakfast today, we went ahead and we took some of the leftover carnitas, and then we had planned on doing sausage and bacon breakfast burritos, but we went ahead and made it a 3 pork breakfast burrito. So 3 different types of pork, all in one breakfast burrito. And they were amazing, especially with the garlic aioli that Koi brought.
Yes,
that was good garlic aioli.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we wrapped it up with some second breakfasts at Huff and Puff.
Yeah, we had lunch at Huff and Puff on the way out.
We were there at like 12:30, so that's really just lunch.
No, it's second breakfast.
I was so stuffed all weekend. So our menu was breakfast and dinners, and everyone was in charge of their own lunches. Koi says one of the dogs was so hungry he tried to eat my leg.
Yeah, that was a common name.
I was so full from breakfast that I would like barely eat anything for lunch, and then we would just eat again for dinner. And oh my goodness,
Yeah,
so much food.
You could really just snack through lunch.
Yeah,
And that's what we did too.
And in fact, it was like it was always like 2:00 before anybody was like, "Man, I'm starting to get a little bit hungry."
I know.
And then you're like, "Oh my god, it's 2:00. I'm not going to eat it full lunch."
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a bin of food that I brought to like snack on and drinks, and I hardly touched the food. Hardly.
Yeah, me too.
The kids are gonna love it because they were looking through all those snacks.
Yeah, I passed stuff out when I got home too. Well, let's talk about our camp activities. It was not a snow wheeling trip; it was a snow camping trip. So, what do we, Ben? Why don't you run us through what we did while we were camping?
Well, we did some drinking. So we did some drink mixing. We had the AMFs, couple different whiskeys, lots of fun there. That was also done responsibly, like not all day drinking. Some beer.
We weren't
except
drinking.
for-
And
What I like to say is we had like 8 people there drinking, and I like to say that for the first night we almost finished a full batch of AMFs, so that was like 1 bottle of each alcohol. So I like to say we had a whole alcohol because the one batch had 5/5 of alcohol.
Oh yeah, good one.
But I mean, when you parsed it out, it was like 2.5 drinks per person or something like that.
Yeah.
It
And
really
then-
didn't end up being that much.
Well, it was kind of interesting because the next night we didn't really drink as much, and same with the last night. We didn't drink a whole lot. The first night we had fun. It was a rager. We did.
I don't know that it would be a rager.
it wasn't a rager.
It was just fun. It was fun times.
Kravik didn't fall in the fire this year, so
Oh, good point.
it wasn't a rager.
Good point.
He did.
We did some
Go
nacho
ahead.
cheese eating.
So I brought that nacho cheese tub, and boy, did it come in handy.
Yeah,
And then we
can.
Coy and I surprised you guys with some nacho cheese in a tube as
Yes.
well.
Oh, those were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
So
nacho cheese Otter Pops.
Yeah. So a week before the trip, I went to Coy's house and I was able to get my hands on some of these DIY Otter Pop tubes. And it was very difficult, but we filled them with nacho cheese and then we brought them to the event. And they were convenient for spreading on chips while you just held your little nacho cheese packet yourself, or using it to fill into a burrito or things like that. Like the last breakfast, we had breakfast burritos, and of course I put nacho cheese on my breakfast burrito. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in the menu.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did a lot of firewood cutting. Our fires are. My family hates me because I'm like, build it bigger. But when we're together, building it bigger is, well, here's an idea. This is the first night. And then this is another shot the first night.
Yeah, that's later that night.
And that's Rick for scale sitting down. That's how deep it went. And then there's me the next night, and that's how I like my fires. As tall as me, plus 3 feet deep or 2 feet deep.
I'm thinking that this is also the first night.
I think it is no,
Yeah.
it's the second night because we hadn't set up the easy up yet.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
by
like
the
my
time we
fires
left,
really big.
by the time we left, the fire pit was how big, Aaron? It was 19 by 13
No,
feet.
14 by 20.
14
So
by 20.
here's a picture of the third day, and we're standing in it. I think this is lunchtime because somebody's eating unscheduled food items, and so we're down in the fire pit, which was cool because now we could have the fire at us rather than like below us.
Yes.
You can see the shift pod in the background making a landing.
Yeah, it was a blast. We got to do a little bit of pistol shooting. We did
And
a little
other shooting.
and other shooting. We did a little bit of a competition. Not really.
Just timing ourselves.
Just timing. And I'm absolutely terrible. And Aaron cheats with optics, and Jeremy is A-OK.
Wow, and I actually impressed myself with that with the bolt action 22.
Yeah. No, that was a good run with that.
And did like 10 shots, didn't miss a single one in 14.7 or some 14.7 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. And then Rick pulled out his 45-70.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And he had a little bell shot pulled out for that, and that thing was fun to shoot. It kicked, and my shoulder is still feeling it.
And it destroyed the bell. Really?
Yeah.
Your shoulder's still feeling it?
Not too bad. Just like the first shot, I didn't pull it back tight, and yeah.
So I just want to say that for the pistol, it wasn't a competition. It's only not a competition because Aaron won the shooting competition. Otherwise, it was a competition.
Yeah.
But like Ben says, I cheated because I had optics. I was the only one with a red dot. And Jeremy, you shot my red dot, and what did you say?
It's so much easier. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You said I got to get one of these.
Yes, I did say I got to get one of these.
I got to shoot my 3D printed pistol, and
it didn't work.
The first time it jammed, I went through and I lubed it up, and it ran smooth. So
yeah, so you showed it to me before we shot it, and I like racked the slide. I'm like, this is dragging, bro. You need to put some lube on it. And you're like, I'm just gonna shoot it, which is fine. You shot it, and it needed lube.
Yeah,
and then it ran.
Well, I put a little bit of lube on it, and apparently that gun likes to run a little wetter than what I had on it.
Yeah. So along with the pistol shooting,
a little bit of tannerite fun.
Yeah.
That's always fun. Booms, booms.
Making the snow fly when you shoot the tannerite when it's down in the snow, and it just get this big explosion of snow.
Oh yeah. Well, it was kind of fun because Aaron mixed up some. So Aaron supplied all the tannerite this time. So Aaron mixed some up, and then I caught him mixing it, and he's like, "Shh." He's like, "Go grab your AK and let's walk this way." And then we just went and shot it when nobody knew it was happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then some of these guys are really, really lame. I don't know what is with them, but Rick, Dave, and I, and Coy hopped in. I hopped in Coy's rig, and Dave hopped in Rick's Jeep, and we went out and went to almost the end of the Forest Service road that we're camping on, snow wheeling it. We were about 800 feet away from where the snow park begins, and the snow was just getting disgusting, and so we decided to turn around at that point because it was getting a little sketchy at where we were on trying to recover there. It was just, let's go ahead and turn around. It was pretty fun though. We got to some really nice snow where Coy was just cruising along, and then the fun part was I got to hop in and drive Coy's FJ, which I've never driven an FJ. Very similar rig to mine, but it's a little different looking through a different windshield.
Yeah, Coy's rig and your rig are so similar.
I meant from the interior.
Coy's gonna be so bad.
I meant from the interior wise. They're same 120 series.
Is this going to become a meme where it's we have an FJ at home, the FJ we have at home?
Yeah, exactly. Coy, I see your comment in the comments here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, well, you talk about snow wheeling. Jeremy, you're probably the best one to describe the snow conditions out there. Why don't you describe it? The drive up, and the drive back.
Why am I the best one to describe it? Anyway, the drive up was basically a snow cone, mashed potatoes. It was very slushy.
hard to get a lot of traction in. And then on the way back, it was just, it was so nice. The snow that we got accumulated, it was just very powdery, very tractiony. It was nicely packing. So like the snow on the way up wasn't really packing very well. It was just kind of moving out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the snow coming down, it was packing nicely, and I don't know. It was just giving you really good traction. It was a little bit drier, but still not like the really dry fine powder. Yeah.
When
we were
driving, you do. Sorry.
When we were driving up, if I was floating on top of the snow for the times that I was not being pulled by a rope, I had to stick between 900 and 1100 RPM in my truck. Otherwise, it was too much, and I would go too fast, and it would push and dump in, or I would have too much wheel spin, and it would just dig a hole. So it was such a fine line to try to dance, and you could hear it.
Yeah,
I had my window down, and you could hear the difference in the snow when you were either on top of it or when you were starting to crunch through it.
Yeah, it's amazing with the temperature, like just having it be a little colder, getting a little bit of extra fresh snow on top of it, what it did to the snow conditions to make it more drivable for us going back. Like if we had that snow on the day there, we would have been a whole lot faster in. Probably wouldn't have had to recover you as much.
Well, besides being on bald tires and on pizza cutters, I was also hauling a lot of weight. I brought a lot of firewood. I hauled the camp
tent
stove, and no, I didn't carry the tent. I carried the poles for the tent. So I had lots of extra gear in my rig because that's what I do. And I brought a second spare tire because I was really worried about the tires I had. So I had another however many pounds a spare tire is as well.
Should have just burned.
Yeah, burn it.
No, you shouldn't have.
Yeah. I know. I joke.
So let's talk about gear that we liked having on this trip. And I'm going to say that the gear I liked having on this trip was my Milwaukee heated vest. So I bought it for work, and it's amazing. It's got a little like 6 amp hour battery that I put in with it. It's an aftermarket battery from Amazon, and it will keep you at high temperature for 8 to 10 hours, which is a long time. The regular Milwaukee 3 amp hour battery lasts like 3 hours. So this goes way longer than those. I recommend if you have one of those heated things, check it out. And the reason why it was my favorite was because my heater, my Mr. Buddy heater, would not stay running inside my shift pod tent that I borrowed. And we kind of dialed it, figured it out that it was not getting enough air because I only had 2 of the 4 windows open, and the windows are really small. So once I opened up all 4 windows, we also thought it might be the propane freezing up. So I brought the propane tank inside. Once I figured that out, I didn't freeze the last night, but it took 2 nights to figure it out. The 3rd night I didn't freeze. How about you? What was your favorite thing to bring on the trip?
I'd have to new tires and bead locks.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just I don't know. I was just driving on par and having, great brand new tires, and being able to air down without having to really worry about blowing that outer bead. I dropped down to 10 psi right away, and then after it started getting a little nasty, I dropped down to 5 psi, and I was good to go. Jeremy, what about you?
I really liked having Ben's Blackstone there. I haven't done a lot of flat top cooking, and it was really nice, especially with how many people we had. Now, it's not always the best tool for the job if like you're cooking for 2 people or 1 person. I know Kravik brings his for every time he's cooking just for himself, but for definitely cooking for as many people as we were cooking for, it was just amazing. just to have that ability. And then, I mean, I obviously having 40-inch tires was really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't get stuck where I couldn't get unstuck. I had to rock it a couple times, but it was really nice being on 40s in the snow. I think that's part of the time that I actually just like having them the most, is for 40s or for snow camping, snow wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then having a road packs full of MF. I liked that.
Yeah, I really love the Blackstone. I'm glad I ended up with getting that one when I got it, because it was a great deal and it worked out perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to haul it into camp though. They're not small or light.
No. I bought it for the trailer, but when it's a big camp sitting with a group of us, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about our rig issues. I'll start off with having bald tires, and I knew this was going to be a problem, and you guys knew it ahead of time.
Yeah.
That I wasn't going to get tires in time because I didn't have wheels in time. It's just this big chain of events that out of my control. So I had the best tires that I could source from all the tires in my property. So I cobbled together tires. And yeah, go back to that picture there, Ben. There, right there. So that's me leading us out of camp this morning, and it was up a hill. And right here is actually you can't tell in the photo, but it is a side hill right there, and you can see I'm sliding sideways. I got stuck for a minute. I backed up. I worked on a little bit. I got us. I broke trail and got us out of camp. So I don't feel like a total failure with my awful tires, but they were terrible. Having terrible tires. So
yeah,
that was one of my issues. Another issue, I think I may have blown a seal on my front locker. I've got an ARB air locker up front, and when I would hit the switch for the air locker, my air compressor would cycle once every second, off on. But when the locker was off, it wouldn't cycle. And then also when it would do that, I could smell a lot of ATF, because ATF is what the front diff uses. So I may have lost my front locker.
I'm still surprised it uses ATF in your front diff.
Yeah, well, it's just what the Japanese spec is. It might not be ATF, but it smells like ATF. So I don't remember. But the locker worked fine in Moab. And then... and then one other issue I had was as we were heading out, once the snow got easy enough for bald tire Aaron to drive through, I got to lead again, and I was kind of ripping it up with my V8. And one time I was just spinning my tires a whole lot, and it threw some check engine lights and put me into stupid limp mode. So I had to reset my ECU real quick, it only took me maybe 1 minute. I had to, log in through the Bluetooth dongle for the code reader and just clear the codes, and I was good to go again. So
yeah,
which is that one's handy to have versus like I have a plug-in one where I have to plug it in, so I keep the cord wrapped up and underneath my dash, and I just pull the cord out and plug it in.
Gotcha.
Having a Bluetooth dongle probably makes it a lot quicker.
How about you, Ben? What did you have any issues with?
Well, we saw my door panel. That was one of my issues. Because missing door parts is kind of a bad thing, kind of just a little. But the other thing was, I was one of the first people in the camps with Jeremy, and we packed down camp. Well, I didn't really pack down where I parked. I just kind of packed down a few spots, and then I parked, and I sank down. Probably a good 6 inches or so over the course of the weekend because I didn't move. You're muted, Aaron.
Your rig like just went all the way down to the control arms and stuff.
Yeah.
To the ball joints. Crazy. Yeah, it just sank down over the weekend, and I went to leave. I have a feeling that I was pranked and someone poured hot water on my tires. I don't know.
We poured AMF on all around your rig. So
Yeah.
no, you would have seen that. We wouldn't have wasted the AMF on that.
And it would have been blue.
Yeah.
No.
But I sank down, and so when we went to leave, I just spun. I couldn't get out. I was kind of like frozen in place. I had to actually winch myself out of where I'd parked for the weekend. So it's like I went all weekend. Great success getting into camp, and then
Great success.
Very good, yeah. And then go to leave, and I have to winch myself out of my parking spot. So
yeah,
it was fun. I mean, not a big deal. I can live with it. Other than that, great weekend. No other issues, which is amazing for me. Though I did notice when we were at Huff and Puff just before I left, my inner tie rod's going out, and then
you also ripped off your trailer plug.
Oh yeah,
bracket or something.
Going over those trees, I ripped off my 7-prong trailer plug off the factory location, which it's a garbage location, like at the bottom of the bumper, and I bent up my license plate driving over those trees. So that's gonna get relocated.
Time for a new bumper.
It is time for a new bumper. I might have to do that soon, like in a year or two. And then
how about you? Oh, sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah, I might have a driveline that's out of balance or need a U joint that I've got like a little vibration in my pedal.
I wonder if you whacked your driveline on a tree.
It's a possibility. So I'm gonna investigate it tomorrow.
I like how Ben's like, no, everything worked great, except I'm having these issues now and this issue.
Well, no, I noticed the driveline vibration on the way home.
I know, but you made it so
during the trip, no problems. Okay, that's
very true. Honestly, Ben's truck didn't fail him once on this trip.
Yeah. For me though, so I blame Aaron for this one, obviously, but the way I had routed the airline for my rear locker, and then also I routed some just rock light wiring in the same spot. It was a little bit too close to the exhaust. I thought it was going to be okay, and it hasn't caused me an issue for the whole time that it's been installed. But just the working really hard trying to pull Aaron up the hill, up the mountain, and just not moving very fast. I ended up melting my airline, and then also took the insulation off of some of the wiring for my rock lights as well. So I need to go back in and fix that. But other than that, everything worked fine. I overfilled my my power steering a little bit, so I blew a little bit out the top when it got hot. But I'm not even sure that it got hot. I think it just got up to operating temperature and it was too full, so it blew some out the cap. But oh well.
Well, Rick Thomas, the suspense is killing him. Let's jump ahead to the pranks.
Yeah, okay. and we have a confession. We did not pour hot water around your tires, Ben.
What did you do?
While you were wheeling, we used a high lift jack to jack your truck up, and we dug holes under your tires and dropped all 4 tires into holes, and then packed the snow back around it so it didn't even look like it happened.
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
And the best part is you didn't realize your rig was like 5-6 inches shorter than when you left. I was looking at it. I'm like, he's gonna notice. It's so much shorter.
It was a lot shorter, and so we all just kind of banded together and made like these assumptions about why it sunk in. About maybe his tires were hot, and he was in the sun more than other people, or he didn't pack the snow down enough. Yeah, it was great.
Guys. That was
we got you good.
You got me good. Is that because I drove so well up there and I didn't get stuck? Are you punishing me?
No. Before you guys left for camp, before you guys left camp to go snow wheeling, we're like, we got to prank somebody while they're gone, and it just ended up being you.
Yeah. Oh well, that's a good one. honestly, that's a good one. I love it. I got me good.
All the credit to Aaron on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron just got thrown under the Forerunner. Kravik says digging those 4 holes was way better than going snow wheeling that day. So yeah, we were laughing so hard as we were jacking it up and everything. So.
It's just funny. You guys had to wait so long for it to happen.
Yeah, we did, and then we all agreed that we wouldn't tell you that we pranked you until tonight on the show live. So that was the best part.
That's good. I'm
yeah. So also, Ben, you gained a new sticker this weekend.
I did. I don't have a picture of it, but Rick slapped a like a pink bike or purple bike with some mountains on it. On the
was a bike or a tricycle or something?
It was like a bike with a basket with flowers and mountain scenery in the background. Pretty cool.
Yeah, super cute. Oh, we forgot to mention. Here's a picture of a old like Subaru GL wagon that we found wheeling up, trying to get up to where we were at.
Yeah,
they got up to where we were at,
and he's on older tires than Ben has even had. Now that I'm looking at these figures, these are the OG BFG mud terrains.
Yeah, and the cool thing is he's got a first gen Toyota transfer case and driving solid axle, rear axle, and he's leaf sprung. I think he's on like a Toyota frame. But really cool rig, regardless. Yep. And the whole painting on the side, mural on the side is pretty awesome too.
So we as in Coy pulled one more prank this weekend. Rick had just pulled back into camp after driving in his Jeep, and we were all hanging out behind Rick's rig, and Coy popped out in front of Rick's Jeep and dropped a all black smoke bomb. And in this picture you can see, and it looks like Rick's Jeep is on fire. There was so much smoke, black smoke coming out from underneath the front of it, and all of a sudden said, "Oh no, that's smoke." And I could see Rick's face as he turned around, and like his jaw dropped, and he was like panicking, trying to decide if he popped the hood or goes for the fire extinguisher first or whatever. And then everybody starts laughing, and Rick's not sure why people are laughing.
And he's like trying to figure out which way to run. He burned like it felt like 10 seconds that he was burning, trying to make a decision. And we're just laughing at him. It was fun.
It was I've never seen those all black smoke bombs.
And he hadn't either, so that worked out really good.
Yeah. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good time. Here's just a couple more pictures we'll scroll through before we end the show. But here's the Sequoia. I drew like a Cars theme on his windshield. I think it was after he went to bed. I can't remember.
No, it was before he went to bed.
Okay. Here's Rick's tent after the snow. I think that was this morning even. Here's a picture of me driving out of camp. This is shot through my windshield. And you could just see all the snow over the road. Here's another shot of how deep the snow was where we were camping. And then, the rest of these pictures is just us wheeling out in the snow today. And we got about 8 inches over the course of the 3 nights that we were there. It was so beautiful. There's an awesome, the sky was just clear enough that you could see this mountain in the distance above us.
Yep.
Look at that snow coming down. It was just big, heavy snow.
Yeah, it followed me home. It was snowing at my house when I got home. I'm like, why is it snowing here?
Yeah. And it turned out it snowed at our house this morning when I wasn't home. So here's a picture of Jeremy passing the convoy on the shoulder. And then here's us airing back up. So, yeah, it was a great trip. I guess one more prank. Rick gained a skeleton. I went off into the bushes to take a leak, and I found a skeleton hanging from a tree. So I hung it on the back of Rick's Jeep while he was airing up. And the last picture is us at Huff and Puff waiting for our food, and we had all just got our phones turned back on and just got new signal, and everybody's checking their phones, reading their emails, looking at their Facebooks, checking their text messages, Facebook messages, everything. So yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yep. Till next year, right?
Till next year. It was a great time. Well, thanks everybody for listening, hanging out with us. Once again, we went long. Can't seem to keep it under an hour.
Nope.
But we appreciate you guys hanging out in the show with all the comments and everything. It was a great trip. Thanks to everybody for showing up and pitching in and doing your part and helping out, and all the hard work everybody put towards this trip to make it successful. It was a good time. We appreciate our listeners. Make sure you're subscribing to us on YouTube, share us with your friends, your coworkers, and help us grow. God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren Medical Gear Outfitters and Colby Valve to see all their great gear. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a comment or question? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.net or through our social media channels by searching for Offroad Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe, and courteous. Thanks for listening.